Hi guys, I'm trying not to clap really, really hard. It's really hard. And I'm trying not to wave. Hi guys, say hi to Sloane. We're so excited she's here. Welcome back to the Book Mash, the podcast where our TBRs are long, our opinions are strong, and our hearts are always one emotional scene away from shattering, Sloane.
Yeah.
It was one chapter. I'm like, okay, we got that over with, and then no.
Okay, maybe it was more than one.
I didn't scream and I didn't throw my book. So on this episode of the Weekly Mash, where we highlight books that we can't stop thinking about, today we're fangirling extremely hard. If you know, you know, because we're joined by the brilliant mind behind Shadows of a Tortured Heart. The one and only Sloane Raleigh's here. We're so excited she's here. Sloane, do you want to take a minute to introduce yourself? Give us a quick little sneak peek about the book.
Sure. So I'm Sloane, and I wrote a book that I feel like just does not exist in the world that we're in. I have never written a book that shows the real and raw emotions of mental health and getting through it, but also writing something that you want these characters to do better, and you fall in love with them and you want to see what happens to them at the end and overcome everything. So I guess that's it.
It's a great answer.
Perfect.
It's a great answer. Okay. Let's get into this incredible story. For our listeners who haven't yet read Shadows of a Tortured Heart, first of all, what are you doing? Go get it. You killed it. But also, could you give us a quick summary in your own words?
So this book is about Mallory, and she is in college. She absolutely hates the world, and she especially hates men. She doesn't want anything to do with them, and this guy comes into her life, and she's basically like, fuck off. And he's like, nah, we're not doing that. And she starts to get to know him. He starts to trigger her, and she starts having lost memory. And as she's dealing with that, she finds out that someone in her town was murdered. So she wants to get justice for them. And as they start to uncover more and more, she actually finds out that her traumas are darker than what she realized. And while she's dealing with all of this, she's also going to therapy. She's on anxiety meds. She is dealing with depression and trying to figure all of that out while also trying to figure out her feelings with this guy who she knows she shouldn't get involved with, but he's been a constant anchor in her life that he just kind of like breaks those walls down one by one. And she realizes that she actually really likes him. But the things that he does are things that she didn't realize were done to her in her past. And so that's why she's always been so like hesitant towards him. And when it all finally comes to light, she realizes that she's allowed to be loved, she's allowed to be happy, and she is allowed to be the person that she was always meant to be.
So I gotta say, I don't know if a lot, not necessarily a lot of people know this because I don't really talk about it a lot, but I suffer from like a big time anxiety disorder, and the way that you made it so real, I literally looked at my husband and I was like, Brian, because my husband says all the time, like, I don't understand why you're so anxious, or you can't call people on the phone, or like all these things. And I'm like, you should just read this book and it'll tell you exactly how it feels. Not that all anxiety is the same, but like you did such a good job making it feel real that I was like, here you go. Here's your plate.
Yeah. And my husband, he doesn't have anxiety. He doesn't have depression. He is anxious because we have a daughter. So, I mean, that's a dad thing.
Yeah.
But he never understood when I was having one of my episodes. And I'm like, I want to write a book that their loved one can say, hey, read this. And you might understand, if it's just 1% more, you can understand the feelings and thoughts that I have, so that maybe you can give a little bit more grace.
Yeah. It's like spot on. It was amazing. Yeah. And it was funny because even having oh my gosh, I can't even talk. Having an anxiety disorder, like, it was kind of like relieving or like therapeutic to know that like you're not the only one and that you were reading it. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of the times with anxiety, you always feel like you're the only one, or that nobody understands, or like all these things. And it was nice that it felt exactly like how I feel. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that'll appeal to more people too, not just the people who suffer from anxiety, but people that have people in their life who suffer from anxiety.
It helps you understand. Maybe my husband will read it he's more like a sci-fi. Like, I don't understand some of the
Just
stuff she
shove
reads.
it at him.
Okay.
Just say, this is all you get to read.
Yeah.
Yes.
He has to listen on audio. He doesn't
It's
read
in
books.
It will be in the works. It's going to be a while because my narrator is also writing a book.
Oh.
But I'm working really hard. I also have a male narrator, so we're working really hard to try to make it a duet. And so that has to finish her book. She has to get all of those things done before she can really dive in and give it 100%. So probably next year, unfortunately. But
unfortunately,
yeah,
build the hype.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's talk more about Mallory. She struggles with anxiety and depression, which we've already talked about. You wrote it so raw and real. What inspired her character, and did her voice come to you right away?
So the reason I even wrote the book was in 2021, I was on the watch. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. So I was on a watch and I started medication again, started therapy again. I was on every medicine, it seems like, that they, and it's frustrating when I know it isn't working, but my doctor tells me I have to be on it for an entire month. And I'm like, I know it's working. I've been on these meds before. And so I went through so many different meds and I just started writing about it on Facebook. And so many people would send me a direct message and say, hey, I can't talk about this, but I just want to know that I understand what you wrote about today. Like, I feel it. And so Mallory is the person that I am when I'm in that state. So just hates the world, thinks that everyone is out to get her. And I just started writing her. And originally she was very timid and shy, and because that's how I am. But I'm like, that's not who she is. She is a badass. She is anybody's feelings. And she just decided that's who she was going to be. And I actually love that because I also feel like it made it more emotional when she finally let Bryce in, because it wasn't like, oh, I'm timid. It's like, no, you broke down every single wall that I possibly put up. So I like that she decided that she was going to be this strong person that just didn't care about anybody. And she has her friends, but she just really hated the world, and she learned to love to live in this world.
Love that. Yeah. Healing through writing is one of the most amazing things, because, I mean, any art form, whether you are painting or writing music, all of those different things can help you heal through it. So I'm glad that you had the outlet to be able to do that. Yeah. All right. So Mallory, her emotional arc is intense. It's beautifully done. Was it challenging to write her mental health journey in a way that felt honest but also hopeful?
Chapter 10 was the absolute worst chapter for me to try to write. I'm going to cry.
Oh.
Me.
No crying.
Virtual hug.
Yes.
So I had written it, and my editor said, I need more. Like, I know she knows me on a personal level. She's like, I know how hard this is going to be, but I need you to dig deeper. And so one night I listened to music. That's how I get into the mood, which is why there's a song at the beginning of each chapter. And my playlist stopped, and Spotify started playing like songs that were similar. And the song NF by Paralyzed came on, and I was like just sitting there crying. And I'm like, this is what I needed to feel to get it out. And so me personally, me and Mallory have a very similar reality in what she finds out in chapter 9. And so I had to dig deep to teenage me, who found out at 16, 17. And it was very hard because I wanted it to feel real. I wanted people to feel what she is and want to root for her. And that I was on watch in 2011, which is obviously way past being 16, 17. But I just really wanted to put myself in that mental state because I wanted people to feel it. And so it was really hard, but I just feel like that song came to me, and it was for a reason when I was in the middle of writing that chapter. And so I am very thankful for it, and I'm glad that it's over.
Yeah.
But I really had to sit here and like put myself in what would I have said at that time. And I could be wrong, but I feel like it comes across that way, that it's like, no, she was feeling this when she was writing it.
Yeah. No, I felt like that with like 99% of the book. Because obviously you can't feel like that on like Bryce's side, you know what I mean? So that's why I said 99.
Yeah.
But no, it was like it seriously tore at your heartstrings, and that's why when the one chapter happens, you're like, no, this cannot be it. Like this cannot be done. And I was like, there's still a book left.
Never trust the last 100 pages of a book. Let me tell you.
I know, especially if you're writing it.
Oh my
in the
goodness.
best way possible.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of Bryce, let's talk about him. He's got the charming on the outside, hurting on the inside. Man, the vibe that we all love. What was the process for writing him, and was he always meant to be the one for Mallory?
So yes. So it's really funny. Write what I know, obviously. Bryce is a mix of me and my husband. So I am crazy. I will get on a table and dance in the middle of a party. I will say what comes to my mind, even if it might hurt your feelings a bit. And my husband is the one constant that has been in my life. In 2011, when I called him and I was like, I have to go to the doctor right now, he left work and took me immediately to the doctor. And the only time that man has ever taken a sick day was to be by my side through my mental health. And so it's really hard because so many people are into these morally gray characters and same sis. I wanted it to write it in a way that he's her constant and she never has to question him, even though she does all the time. But that's internal thoughts, and I wanted him to always show up and be that person that is like, I'm going to help you through this, even if you're pushing me away. When I met my husband, I was completely broken, trauma, and he was just always so sweet. I would sit there and cry into his arms all the time. And so I'm like, I wanted to write that character that is just will show up for you no matter what. It doesn't matter if they have a game or if they're at work, or they will literally drop everything. And so when I wrote Bryce, I had to give him a little bit of a cockiness because he's a baseball player, right? Which my husband was the exception to the rule. But I wanted it to be fun, and there's so many hard things in this book that I wanted it to be funny, and I wanted them to have banter, and I wanted them to like have fun with each other despite everything that they're both going through.
It's funny because I was going through, was it your Instagram or was it your TikTok? I don't remember what it was. And there was a picture of your husband playing baseball, and I was like, oh my gosh, like it all makes sense now.
That's where it came from.
Got it. Light bulb.
But I still don't know what a run is, so that's on me.
Read that part, I was dying.
So funny.
I was absolutely rolling.
I know.
Because we grew up in like a big baseball household, and like I played softball and I coached softball, and so when I read that, I literally had to put my Kindle down and I was just laughing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, because it just made that whole scene. I was rolling.
Did you watch baseball? Like, I know y'all have been married for 10 years, but like, have you ever watched a game? And I was like, yeah, why? And she was like, because there's no runs or there's no points in baseball. And I was like, I got you. I'll make a little joke about it.
Yeah, that's so cute. I love that.
I coach middle school softball, and so the same thing. They'll be like, how many points did we get? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, how many points did we get? I'm like, they're not points. Like, or goal, we didn't, like, they're runs, and they're like, no, they're not, they're points. So, see the board? It's got point. No, just walk away.
No, it's fine. I call myself on my bullshit all the time, so I'm like, I'm just gonna make a little jokey joke here.
I mean, that's what you gotta do. Make it fun. Yeah, I love that. So we have the chemistry between Mallory and Bryce, but we also have a lot of emotional depth. What was the hardest part in writing their romance in the book?
The hardest part. Do y'all want me to be honest? I am not a smut writer, okay? I tried. I gave it the old college try, but we're kind of vanilla, so
I knew we were friends for a reason.
It was just fine.
It did what it was supposed to do.
I couldn't tell any different.
That editor and my proofreader and grammar person were for, because she's like, no, we're not doing this. Like, my proofreader literally called me and said, we're not saying this. And I said, what do you mean? She said, Mallory wouldn't say this. Get on the phone right now. We're going to fix it. And I had to rewrite part of the scene because she's like, no, we're not doing that.
I bet those are
I'm a major dark romance girl. Yeah, I'm a major dark romance girl. But if anybody like actually read the book, like, okay, so here's a little example. So she listens to our podcast. So My 3rd grade student teacher, okay, was talking to me the other day about Haunting Adeline and how she was reading it. And she wanted to know how I thought or felt because I was reading it, or I had read it. I'm getting all sorts of mixed up. And I'm like, you're reading Haunting Adeline? And she goes, yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh. So the fact that my 3rd grade English teacher, my 3rd grade teacher was reading the same books I was reading, a little weird to me.
Yeah, don't do this to me in real life, but the gun scene, I can read about it, but don't do that shit to me.
Same here. Nope. Or like the mattress scene from Lights Out.
But have you read the knife scene in Den of Vipers?
Yes.
No, I have not.
10 out of 10.
Okay.
Do that, like Brian. I tell my husband, Brian, don't get any ideas, because if you bring that in here to try to do, nope, you'll be sleeping on the couch.
Like, choke me, don't make me pass out, okay?
Yep, nope, don't get any. But if that man were to chop off a hand for me and put it on my doorstep for the man that touched me, oh yeah, and we'd get married all over again. But it was funny because when we were talking to my 3rd grade student teacher the other day, her husband goes, but Brian, would you chop off somebody's hand and put it on her porch for touching you? And he goes, no, he can have her. I'm like, thanks, honey. Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Oh,
Love
God.
you too. Gosh. Okay, let's switch gears to the suspense side. We've talked a lot about the lovey-dovey. The murder mystery element added so much tension. Did you know from the beginning how the story would unfold, or did it surprise you as you wrote?
I'm going to preface this by saying that I have a really good editor because very honest, and the final plot twist, one point was the prologue, and she's like, what are we doing?
I mean, that could have worked in some way, but I think that the way it is better because you get like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
What?
Like, it could have worked, but I feel like the way it is now is good.
But she said, if you want to make it suspenseful, you need to rewrite this. And I'm not telling you to rewrite your book. I'm giving you a suggestion. And I'm so glad that I took her advice because I worked with her for a year and a half. And she read my very first draft. It was only 6 chapters. And she's like, this is going to be a really good book, but we got to change some things. And I'm like, heard. And I think there was only one suggestion of hers that I never changed. And it was because I couldn't describe what it looked like. And that was the only thing I was like, I can't do it. She's like, you know what? Fair. I said, I can barely write smut. You want me to describe what his pee-pee looks like? No.
Dying.
I knew this was going to be a good one.
No, like when spoiling anything, but when I read that part, I was like, what? Because I thought it was somebody else from the whole get-go. And I'm like, what? No, this is not what happened. And I'm like flipping on it was on my Kindle. I'm like flipping through the pages and I'm like, this doesn't make, hold on. But it was so good.
You can go back and read it. There's little hints. Gosh, my phone's going to die.
Oh, you're good.
Boy. That's okay.
She's good at fixing
but there are little hints. They're just very, very subtle.
I'm going to have to go read it again.
I know. It's like, okay, maybe I'll go back. I love when you...
So I'm like, why is my pages, like, being read, like, flipping like crazy? It's because Ashley and Miranda are on there going back through the book 10 times.
Right? Yeah. I love when you can read a book or watch something and you notice things that you didn't notice the first time, and it makes you appreciate it that much more. So that makes me really intrigued on reading it a second.
I will say they're not very loud, but they are there very subtly.
Yeah.
And there are subtle things to the future too, because obviously it's a trilogy. So there's like these little bitty things that after you read it, you'll catch it. But I made them so small that I didn't want anybody to figure it out, because I love to figure out books, but it kind of just takes it away when you know. And I'm like, I figured that out like 20 chapters ago.
Yeah.
But like, change it. Like, can we be a little bit more subtle, please? So I like it. It doesn't feel fair that I'm like, nobody got it because they were so subtle. But I'm like, the shock value still there.
Yeah, no, it was perfect just the way it was. Definitely.
Yeah. Me and Miranda were like texting back and forth. We're like, "Are you done yet?" I'm always the slow one. And she's like, "No, I'm not done yet." And then she texted me, "Are you done yet?" I'm like, "I'm at like 65%." She's like, "Oh my gosh, hurry up." I'm like, "I'm sorry. I'm slow."
Yeah. It's
Slow reader.
Okay. We want to switch things up a little bit and let our listeners get to know you a little better beyond the book. So we have some questions to help everyone connect with the amazing mind behind the pages. So the first one, what first got you into writing? Was there a light bulb moment, or have you always been a storyteller?
I just said fuck it and did it a year and a half ago. So
Yes.
I read a lot, and I read a lot of dark romance and romantasy, and I feel like they just graze over the mental health part. Like, they're just like, I'm locked in a house, I'm sad, but then 2 chapters later, it's like, there's no more trauma from that.
Right.
And I'm like, if I'm going to write a book, I'm going to write something raw and real, and if people don't like it, that's cool. It's not the book for them, but that's really why I did it, is because I was tired of reading all these books where these people go through really fucked up things.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, 2 chapters later, we're fine. And then it never gets brought up. And like I said, I had my Facebook post that I wrote about, and I was like, if people can relate to this, and I'm just literally just word vomiting, then I can write something that maybe means something to somebody. Yeah, English was my worst subject in high school. And college, I guess. I was a math girl, so I didn't pay attention to that shit. I'm like, I'm gonna forget about this as soon as I graduate. I'm not going into anything. I have a marketing degree. I'm not gonna ever do anything with that. I can write something on a piece of paper or on a flyer. That's fine. Which I don't work in, but besides the point. I guess I do, because I'm trying to market this fucking book.
I was gonna say, use that to your advantage. Yeah, market the heck out of your book. There you go.
It's not working. It's fine. But yeah, it was just something that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try. And my best friends were like, you have a story to tell. And I literally asked, I was like, what if I make this person a murderer? And she was like, hell fucking yeah. And I was like, what if we kill people that we like don't like in real life? And she's like, absolutely.
Have you read Phantasma?
Yes, but I haven't read the second one.
So I think we read Phantasma before your book. Was that right, Miranda?
I don't remember. It was either right before or right after.
I think it was right before, because I think I remember reading Phantasma and being like, oh, they touch so good on like the mental illness stuff, because she has like the OCD and like the thoughts in her head and like all the things. But then like your book like totally just like was like, well, hell no, we're not. Nope. Like like they're two totally different. Phantasma just like shows, like you said, like the surface level. Like they don't really go into detail about it. But yeah, yours was like, yeah, I'll take the crown now. Thank you.
Yes.
True. Okay. Do you have a writing routine? Are you like a team quiet candlelight vibes or like chaotic coffee shop vibes?
I am a pantser. So it's just up here. And so I just sit down and I write it in what I think is the right order. And I'm just sitting here in my office. I keep my door locked because my daughter will not leave me alone, and neither will my husband. And so I have to put them out when I'm in like a writing mode. And so I just sit on my laptop and I write it in order. And then when my editor goes back through, she's like, why are you jumping from this to this? Like, what is going on? And so I had to rearrange chapters a lot. But in my head, that's how it was supposed to happen. And I just write what's on my mind. I can't skip through and write what I want to write. It has to be in the order that it's coming through my brain. I have the 2 and 3 up here, and I'm just waiting to sit down and like just start it. I'm so excited. I am. Let me get my coffee and put on some sad music and just let's go.
I feel like there are a lot of people now, especially with the indie like platform, because there's so many people that are publishing their own work that are more pantsers than plotters because they have a chance to do it the way they want to do it. And I almost feel like the result of that is so much better in some cases than having to sit down and like have your whole plot diagram figured out. I feel like when you're just getting it on the page, you have more of not just yourself, but the emotions that you're thinking and feeling while you're writing come out in the book. So I think pantsers are definitely like one-upping the plotters at this point in time. Yeah.
100%.
What's your favorite trope to write, and then your favorite trope to read?
So I really liked writing a reverse Grumpy Sunshine, and reverse Grumpy Sunshine is also one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But I loved writing that she was grumpy and he was just so happy because he has his own trauma, but he like it's a lot easier for him to like fake the outside happy. And me personally, if I can fake being happy, but at the same time, like it still doesn't come across as completely genuine. Like people can tell. So it was really fun to write how mean she is, and then he's just like, "Cool, I'll see you tomorrow."
Right? Yeah.
So I absolutely love Grumpy Sunshine, but I also love a good golden retriever, and this is why I'm obsessed with Riddick. Like I love Zayden, but give me Riddick. Riddick is my man. I love Leo and the Ruthless Boys. Like, I don't know.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
I love men who just have no filter and just say whatever is on their mind. And that kind of goes into effect with Grumpy Sunshine when he's the grump, and also with golden retriever. So I think that's why I gravitate towards those two. Also, enemies to lovers. I also love that one, but again, they're mean, but like sometimes it comes across as funny because they're just like whatever. I guess I just like people like tropes that where the man just kind of like says what's ever on his mind and doesn't have any filter. Whatever trope that falls.
With the FMC.
Yeah,
that's like my life. My husband's totally the grumpy. But I also have no filter and will tell you how it is, and I don't care what you think.
Yeah.
So, but he also doesn't care what anybody thinks, and he'll tell you straight to your face. Like we've been married for almost 17 years, and he like when we first started dating, he's so like honest. Like he'll straight up tell you like, that shirt looks terrible on you, or your hair looks stupid today. But he doesn't mean it like in a bad way. It's like when you ask about it. And I had to get to the point, like, I don't have feelings. I say all the time, like, you took my last feeler. I was saving that for my oldest wedding day. And, so it got to the point where I was like, okay, Brian, you need to be a little bit nicer because you're actually kind of starting to hurt my feelings. He's like, so now he's like 50 on like lying about it to make sure he doesn't hurt my feelings, or like telling me like straight up honest, Ashley, you suck.
Oh my gosh. You guys are funny.
It's true. Am I wrong?
I mean, I guess. Being on the outside looking in, it makes sense.
We did an episode where we were talking about like our real life book boyfriends, and Miranda the whole time was like positive. I love my husband. He's so sweet. He takes care of his family. And mine's like the whole time, my husband would get rid of me the first chance that he could. So true.
Yeah, that was literally the whole episode. It was funny.
Literally the whole thing. The whole thing. Because it's true. When you're married for so long, like, that's just how it is. Sorry. Do you expect anything less? We're like literally the ones. My dad was yelling at us the other day because I got in my car and we were going somewhere, and I asked my husband when he walked outside, I was like, oh no, I left my cup in the house. Will you go get it? And he's like, God damn it. And I'm like stomping around, and he's like yelling, but not like in a bad way. And then my son's on the front of the four-wheeler with my dad, and he said something, and my dad goes, yeah, you don't talk to your wife like that. And he goes, but on the other side, like, you don't talk to your husband like that either. And he, like, looks at me, and I'm like, well, that's our love language, is talking crap about each other.
You guys are unique, for sure.
Tell me what. I don't know. Okay. What book completely wrecked you emotionally? And did it do the same kind of damage that your book did to us?
I'm going to say no, it did not do the same, because the book that wrecked me is Under Your Scars.
Oh,
and
yeah.
never in my life stop thinking about that book
Mm-hmm.
because I read the author's warning and I did not heed it.
I did not heed it. I haven't read it yet,
And
so.
I've been trying to get her to read it.
And then the novella broke me
I haven't read that
because
one
it's Caroline, and the whole entire time I was reading it, I was thinking about where I was at mentally, and because I have a daughter, and so that's why it hurt so bad. And I literally was just in the car sobbing, and I'm like, people probably think somebody died, and somebody died for sure.
It's so true.
And so that is the one book that I will think about for the rest of my life because it hit me so hard because I'm like, yes, we're at the end of this book, and it broke me, completely shattered my heart. And I'm like, do you write anything else? Because I want to feel it again.
I think it was like 2 a.m. and I was on the last chapter, and I literally like threw the blankets, and I'm like, I must have been on my Kindle, and I'm sitting here like this, and I'm like, nope, we're surviving the book. We're almost there. We're almost through. Oh, we're on like the last 3 pages. Oh. And then you're done. And then you just sit there looking at rate this book on Goodreads, and you're like.
So the Audible was really nice because the author recorded something at the end of the book, and I understood why she did it.
I'm not going to listen to it.
And it's like I could feel what she felt when she wrote the end of that book. And I don't know, I just love a book that can make me feel something. And I am a crier. Y'all are gonna hate me. I did not cry in Exodus. I did not cry when I read Exodus. And I don't know why.
I don't know, but not as much as I have for other books.
No, not a single tear was shed.
Oh
And
I think I cried.
was in a really weird spot when I read that, and that's why I haven't finished. I'm halfway through finish line, and I have been refusing to read One Last Rainy Day, and I know as soon as I finish that, I'm going to have to read it. But I've heard Severed Heart is rough, and so I'm avoiding it like my life depends on it because I can't read it if I don't finish line.
Yeah.
I think I read or cried harder on Exodus than I did for like the last letter. Is that what it's called?
Not me.
The last letter broke me. I was like, the fuck are you doing, bitch?
I was like a blubbering mess with the last letter.
No, Exodus, I was sobbing.
Yeah.
Last letter cried for like 2 hours. My husband came in and he's like, who died? And I'm like,
you? I know.
I think I texted Miranda and told her how much I hated her for making me read that book.
No, I think you read Last Letter before. It was the Flyboy series that I made you read the first one, and then you're like, why did you make me do this?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm a crier. Like, I will cry for everything, but maybe I was depressed when I read Exodus, and I was like, you know what? Same. Like, I feel you.
Exodus broke me. And there's a way that I just found that you can tandem read all of the Ravenhood series. Yeah. So I trade all of my books because I don't have a lot of space. So, like, I just traded off the Ravenhood series besides, like, Severed Heart and One Last Rainy Day. So now I'm waiting for Birds of a Feather to come out, and then I'm going to get Exodus and Finish Line and tandem read it all. I'm really intrigued. We'll see.
Wow, that seems like too much work for me.
It'll be so cool.
Oh no, I was supposed to stop here. I gotta move on to this one.
Where you can like put your Kindles like together because I random read The Throne of Glass, Tower of Dawn, and whatever, and somebody had put it together where you didn't have to flip through.
Interesting.
I was not all of that.
I did it for, was it Powerful and Powerless, I think? I tandem read those by Lauren Roberts? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never done a tandem read. But I also don't read things in like the whole Zodiac Academy. I just went from the beginning and then went to the end and then picked up Ruthless Boys like I didn't like.
Oh no, I read a few chapters of Zodiac Academy, read the Ruthless Boys, and then I still haven't finished Zodiac Academy.
The first one.
But the Ruthless Boys, I will 10 out of 10 recommend every single time.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
See, and I think I liked it better than Zodiac. Zodiac just felt like it went on for forever, and I loved it. But I'm like, I read too much at one time. I'm like, I'm on my 16th book in a row. Like, so I don't say I DNF'd it. I'm gonna read it later.
Put it to the side for now. Yeah.
Those people, I have to like finish the whole series before I move on. But that's like a lot.
It is a
What
lot.
is it, like 25 books or something?
It is a
Yeah,
lot.
because you have Zodiac, you have Ruthless, and then you have the Penitentiary.
Yeah, I haven't done Darkmoor Penitentiary yet.
Yeah. And she also has, now they have Neverkeep and Echo. So I started that, like, I'm not in a good mental state to read a fantasy right now. Yeah. And so I put that back.
Neverkeep is so good, but I haven't read the second one yet.
I've Neverkeep, I haven't read it.
Yeah, see,
I'm really bad about that.
I'm really bad when I start a series because I want to finish it all, but then it sucks when you come in late because it's like you're taking in so much at one time. You need a break.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's do some rapid fire questions. So you have to answer fast. Don't overthink them. Okay, first one. Ebook or physical book?
Ebook.
Enemies to lovers or friends to lovers?
Fuck. Lovers.
That's a good answer. Coffee or tea while writing?
Coffee.
Kill off a character or give them a happily ever after?
Happily ever after.
Favorite writing snack?
Shit, I don't know.
It's an answer. If you weren't a writer, you'd be a
famous TikToker, which I'm not.
You can get there, though.
Cool, though.
You're on your way. You're on your way. One word to describe Shadows of a Tortured Heart. One word.
Traumatizing.
Yeah. In more ways than one. What's your biggest writing ick?
Slick folds.
Yes!
Oh gosh. Okay. Music or silence when writing? We already know the answer to this one.
Music.
Yes.
Yeah. And we know the answer to plotter or pantser.
Yeah.
I'm dying.
Okay. On that note, we finished this off in such a great way. Thank you so much, Sloane, for joining us. It's been so fun and entertaining, as we expected. We are so obsessed with your writing, and we can't wait for more. We'll be stalking everything and finding out when you get those next installments out. Shadows of a Tortured Heart. It will grab your soul. So if you've not picked it up yet, it is available. Please grab it and read it. You will just be so astounded by the emotional turmoil and how it just grips you. So definitely we'll have it linked below. And then all of Sloane's socials so you can keep up with all of the announcements too. But that's it for the Weekly Mash. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and tell a fellow book nerd about our show. All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.